Hey, beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully great. Welcome to Budget Builds, where we use zero Forma and achieve maximum efficiency. Today we're taking a closer look at Baruuk and his Serene Storm build. Now recently the Steel Path has been released, and Baruuk is one of those powerful warframes that can easily kill highly armored and high level enemies without any trouble. So before I continue with the video, please spot and click the subscribe button for more Warframe videos. So starting off with Baruuk's passive. Basically, if an enemy gets hit by his number 1, his number 2 or his number 3 ability, then his restraint will start to erode. Remember, if your restraint is too high, then you will not be able to use his Serene Storm. Also, while your restraint is at the lowest of levels, what's going to happen is Baruuk will start to become 50% or up to 50% more tankier. Moving on to his first ability, Elude. The way this works is simple. First, this is a drain based ability, and what happens is Baruuk will be able to dodge every single projectile that's coming towards him if he does not attack. Moving on to his second ability, Lull. Basically what happens is Baruuk sends out this wave that slows down enemies that eventually puts them to sleep. While the enemies are asleep, you can perform finishes to them, and if the enemies are damaged, then what happens is they'll wake up in confusion, not knowing what's going on in their environment. Next is Desolate Hands. Now the way this works is simple. Desolate Hands will spawn in these knives that surround Baruuk, and for every knife you'll get a form of damage reduction. If you mod correctly, you'll get 90% damage reduction. And finally we have Serene Storm. This is his exalted fists, is what I like to call them. What happens is Baruuk will start punching the air and will start sending out these triangular shapes towards the enemies. I like to think of those triangular shapes as chi. So you're going to hitting the enemies with chi through walls and through groups. It's very fun. So here's Baruuk's build, and of course it's a zero Forma build. We don't use Forma on this channel because we don't have a clue on what it is. So starting off with the aura, we've got ourselves corrosive projection. That way we can kill the enemies with ease because they've got less armor. Another good option is Energy Siphon. Why? Because it will help you stay in your Desert Storm for longer. Because if you guys don't remember, if your restraint gets too high, you will not be able to use your Desert Storm. In order to lower your restraint, you need to then go and use your other abilities, and those require energy. That's where Energy Siphon helps you out. So for our other mods, we have Primed Flow for bigger energy pool, Vitality for more health, Transient Fortitude and Blind Rage for more power strength, Streamline and Fleeting Expertise for efficiency, that way we don't get caught with our pants down, and the main mod itself, Reactive Storm. Now the way this works is simple. You will gain 250% status chance, and the damage type of your Desert Storm will adapt to the faction you're fighting. So for instance, let's say you are fighting 30 corrupted heavy gunners, their weakness is corrosive. This mod will automatically change your main damage to corrosive because that's their weakness. Now for our arcanes, I personally use Arcane Strike and Arcane Fury because of more damage from Fury, more DPS from Strike. But if you guys, another good option that you guys can use is Guardian and Grace, or Guardian and Energize, or Grace and Energize. It is literally up to you guys. For our Desert Wind build, we are going to be rolling with Prime Pressure Point for more melee damage, Berserker for more attack speed, Melee Prowess for more stage chance, Sacrificial Steel for more critical chance, Condition Overload for more melee damage. For our elements, we have Virulent Scourge for more toxin and stage chance, Vicious Frost for more cold and even more stage chance. This makes viral. And for our last mod, we have Volcanic Edge, which is an unranked mod, which gives us more heat and even more stage chance. Our final damage is Heat and Viral. Heat reduces armor, Viral just deals insane damage because of how it stacks. So when you guys are using Baruuk, there's one mechanic that you guys need to pay attention to, and that is his restraint. Take a look at the bottom right hand side of the screen. You'll see a restraint bar. Now by default it's at 100%. If it's at 95% or higher or around that level, you are not allowed to use your Serene Storm. In order to use your Serene Storm, you need to lower it. Now let me show you guys how to lower it with these test subjects. So simply just hit an enemy with either your number 1, your number 2 or your number 3 ability. So the best one to use against the enemies in order to lower your restraint is your number 2. And given the current build, it will allow us to spam it and just keep lowering it like so. As you guys can see, it will start affecting the enemies and put them to sleep. And look at that, my restraint is slowly diminishing. And of course, once it's diminished and I'm happy with the amount, I simply can activate my number 4 like so. And there you have it, I'm in my Serene Storm and watch me murder everybody. Currently I'll deal a lot more damage because the enemies are under the pause action, meaning that I'll deal unrealistic results, kind of. So if you guys want a red crit with Baruuk's Serene Storm, there is a way. What you guys need to do is make sure that your melee weapon has Blood Rush on it. For some odd reason, Blood Rush does seem to affect the Serene Storm itself, or sorry, the Desert Wind itself, and the stat stick with the Gladiator mods. So I did make a mistake previously with the Gladiator mods. Instead of saying use Gladiator Finesse, I was supposed to say you have to have Vice. So the correct mods are Gladiator Vice, Gladiator Might, and Gladiator Rush. Having those will give you more critical chance on your Desert Wind itself. Now, the Desert Wind was working a little bit strangely for me. Basically, when I would jump into a simulacrum, it instantly red crit, but when I would have the conditions met again in a normal mission, I would not really notice any different. In fact, I would not be having no form of red crit. I don't know if it's a bug or anything, but it could be because my Sentinel was dead at the time. I don't know. I don't recall it not working that way. Let me know if DEs actually did something to it, but I don't want to include that in this video because it's going to be useless, because we all know nerfs are never DE laid. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. If you guys liked the video and if it's helped you out, make sure to leave a like, Spartan kick the subscribe button for more Warframe videos. I'm gonna make like a banana and split.